you were still not satisfied with the attention to detail?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just know we can do things better, and so as I focus from week to week, it really is all about our execution. It doesn't matter the opponent. I mean, certainly you watch film, you game plan, you want to understand the opponent, you want to be able to anticipate certain things, but at the end of the day, it's all about your execution, right? And I think when we are executing at a high level in both the run game and the pass game, I think we are really hard to defend. We can do so many things. We've got a lot of versatile players. I think we game plan very well. We are coached very well. But, when you come out of a game and you look at drives that, why did that drive end? Well, we had a penalty that was an unforced error, or we had a missed assignment that would have resulted in a big play, but instead it was a loss or a no gain. So it's those things that you look at and say, man, the opportunities are so few and far between in the game that when you get them, you got to make them. If you want to be the type of team that I know that we can be. So, no, I'm not satisfied right now. I think we can be a lot better.
The first quarter has been a little bit of a problem lately. It wasn't on Sunday. Was there extra emphasis placed on that?
Yeah. I mean, but still, the first two series were field goals, right? When we got down inside their 20. And so that's an area where I would say that still needs to be improved. Even though you walk away with 20 points in the first half, which I think we would take that, could have been 28, So I know there's more that we can do there to make sure that we're getting 7 points instead of 3.
Drew, Carolina has 39 sacks this year. I think it's tied for first in the league. What do you see from the pass rush?
It's impressive, man. They're they get after you. They got a lot of good pass rushers. This has always been a very aggressive defense. A pressure style defense. They have obviously one of the smartest, best players in the game in Luke Kuechly. And you see how active he is in his communication and leadership on that side of the ball. So they're doing a good job of getting pressure, on opposing teams and taking the ball away. And, again, for us, it becomes about our execution, our attention to detail in regards to the protection. And then also, when we do have opportunities to make plays, we got to make them.
Drew, I think kind of changed up their defensive front with the addition of Gerald McCoy. Like, is that pretty obvious?
Yeah. And it's a change. It's a change in scheme too. It's kind of gone to this 3-4 defensive front. Even though you can make the front look like a 4-down front, you still have it's just different body types, in different places. And again, they're executing it well. They're well coached.
I think you've said a lot. The more desperate team wins.
Yeah.
Carolina seems fit for a team that'll come in with
Yeah.
that.
Listen, you could say it's very similar to the position we were in coming off of last week, where you lose one at home and, you didn't play your best football, obviously, and, there's a lot at stake. Listen, these are divisional games. They're, we're fighting to win the division. They're fighting, to be in contention as well. So, this is one of those games.
If you wanted to get home field, you might have to win the last 6. Have you thought about that at all?
Nope, I haven't. Can't win 6 till you win 1. So
that sounds nice.
I want to win 1 6 times. How about that? There we go.
Drew, just another random. I just found this one. I guess Carolina is allowing the fewest receiving yards by running backs in the league this year. You guys obviously use Alvin so much in the pass game.
Yeah.
Can you speak to, I guess, how you guys get him open and how it works?
I didn't know that. That's a good stat.
I just found it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's all about matchups, and you see how they're going to defend you, and then you react accordingly. We're going to throw it to the open guy. That's my job.
How's the thumb doing?
It's good. Real good.
I know you've seen a lot of change, and it's just part of the game, especially when you've played as long as you have. But is it odd facing a Carolina team without Cam Newton playing, knowing he won't play the rest of this season in some capacity?
You know what? I mean, I haven't really thought about it. I mean, again, if you said Luke Kuechly, I'd say, well, yeah, because that's the guy I'm staring at every time I walk up to the ball. I'm not staring at Cam every time I walk up to the ball. So, being that he's on the other side and it's not like this direct kind of competition. But yeah, I mean, I guess that is a bit unusual being that, he's been the starter there since 2011 and obviously played a lot of football for him.
If you had any advice for a guy like that, the last several years, it just seemed like injuries have kind of derailed his season. So just being a guy who went through injuries yourself, I mean, would you have any words of wisdom?
Well, unfortunately, that's part of this game, and you're fighting through it. I mean, the last thing I expected this season was to, miss 5 games due to this thumb, and I mean, you always hope and pray that you're able to stay healthy, But obviously, Cam plays a tough physical style of football. The guy takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of punishment. Obviously, I hope that he's able to get healthy and get back to where he's feeling good playing again.
You own quite a few records in this game. How cool would it be to see Mike get break Marvin Harrison's record for receptions in the season?
It'd be awesome. It'd be incredible. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. I don't know what the number is. Do you?
143.
143. Okay.
He's got 90.
I don't know. I don't want to know what he has. I don't want to know what he's on pace for. No, I just want to play ball, and if he's open, I'm gonna throw it to him.
You want to throw it to him
And
more?
then, Is that possible? Yeah, all good. I hope he does.
But just to clarify, because you mentioned before, throw to the open guy, and as long as he's open, to throw it to him. You only throw to Mike when he's open.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say. I don't really think we force it to anybody. I mean, common sense would say you try to put the ball in your playmaker's hands, right? Good things usually happen when Mike has it in his hands, as do some other guys, So on any given play, really anybody can get the ball. You have kind of maybe your feature guys or your number one in the progression or your 1 or 2 in the progression. But at the end of the day, anything can happen.
Doesn't the definition of open change based on a receiver's skill sets and
Sure.
skill sets and
Yeah. You can throw them open.
right? And that's
You know?
also
Or if there's nobody on the field that is as big as Jared Cook who's covering him, right? So technically there's always a place you can throw it where he can get it and somebody else can't, for the most part. As was evident with his touchdown catch on Sunday, right? Defender couldn't have played that any better, right? But he's big. So that's a good trait to have. That's a good asset to have, on the offense. But yeah, bottom line is I think there are so many nuances to our offense, and I think guys also understand that what typically may be covered is not really covered in this offense. If you know the nuances and you know the ways to uncover, where that ball can be thrown to where you can make the play and the defender can't.
Can you talk about the job that Nick Easton did coming in last year? I
Yeah.
know he dealt with some injury issues on the offensive line at the end of the season, but it's just one game, but he seemed to be pretty solid stepping in there.
He did a great job, and I know he was excited to get back, into the action. Been a while since he had a start, but he did a great job. And again, it's that group, right? I mean, you always talk about those guys as a unit, the group that has to work together, has to really communicate. I don't think people realize, just how much is happening up front, with what defenses try to do, especially in the pass rush with, games. When we say games or stunts, where it's not like here's the guy lined up over you and you just have to block him, right? All of a sudden he picks the tackle and then the tackle's guy loops inside and you're having to work with the tackle and make sure that he's not getting picked and you're picking up his guy, or here comes the center or the center's not helping you. Or, I mean, there's just so many little elements to playing that position, and you gotta be able to think fast, and you gotta be able to think on your feet, and you gotta be able to work together. And so I think him being a veteran guy, him being a guy who's been a starter in this league, he has that type of experience and that ability to work with those guys.
Drew, you all haven't had a ton of explosive plays lately.
So we have not?
Yeah, not. Has that been because the way teams are defending you all, or is it you've had them called up and they just didn't materialize for whatever reason, or do you feel like it's coming?
Man, we call them. We call them. As I think back to this last game, there was maybe 1 or 2 that we could have taken a shot at. and didn't, came to another option, for whatever reason. Sometimes it's just timing, or it's it's not worth taking the chance, and so I just think for one reason or another, maybe those haven't come, but certainly we call them, and certainly we're ready to throw them if they're there.
Yeah, so you're not losing any aggressiveness as a quarterback.
Oh, no.
Because there's
No.
like some aggressiveness stat that I found that your number is less than it's been in the last few years. But I also thought maybe that might be a byproduct of you feeling good about what's around you.
Yeah.
Maybe not need to take as many chances.
No, I mean, listen, for me, it's about being a great decision maker, and so if it's worth taking the shot, if the guy's open, or if there's a place where we can put it and it's the right situation, then yeah, we're turning it loose. But otherwise, keep the chains moving, right? Positive plays, and score points.
When you're throwing Mike open, is it usually because you saw the same things before the snap, and so you're on the same page? Or to what extent maybe is it his ability to react to what you've decided to do in the moment because he knows what your options are?
I mean, listen, it's there's so much of that is me to you. It's the me to you, it's the experience. It's the timing and rhythm that's been created over years of practice together, and being able to rep the same things over and over, and being able to rep it against a ton of different looks, just about every look that you could possibly get versus a certain route, or, whatever it might be, or against a certain route. And I think his development as a receiver, I mean, I remember when he came in, and he was just kind of a raw, he's such a raw receiver. He had this physical, toughness to him and ability to get off the press and certain things, but, I mean, just as far as like a really, smooth, fluid route runner, there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And, man, he's become that, right? And his route tree was pretty limited, too, I think, when he first got here. And now it's completely open. He can run every route in the book, right? So, again, that's experience on his level, time on task between the two of us. And, I think we know now that no matter what the look, man, his reaction is going to be my reaction, and vice versa. And, we're just very much on the same page.
Do you think there's only a select number of receivers that could play with multiple quarterbacks in a season and still have?
And he's going to get open. I mean, he's going to look you dead in the eye and say, I'm going to get open, right? And you believe him. You trust him. So you anticipate it and you throw it, and most of the time he's right. So that makes for a great receiver. And then you look at all the numbers, and you look at everything else. I mean, it shows. He's on pace to do some pretty remarkable things. I guess.
Thank you.